Yo, what's up? This is Dallas Cowboys State of the Union back again with another video. It has been a while, and as you see, I'm not here with my brother, but I had to get on here and talk a little bit about the game yesterday. Our Dallas Cowboys came out in our 2019 season opener and stomped up on the Giants 35-17. I'm gonna tell you, we haven't been here whole off season. A lot of things have happened, from the Zeke Elliott contract saga to the Robert Quinn suspension, PED suspension. There's been a whole lot of things going on or whatnot, and we've just been sitting back watching, letting things play out. We felt like certain stuff didn't need a video, and we really wanted to come to you guys when the season started. Unfortunately, my brother's not here today, but you already know I had to come and do my thing. Our Dallas Cowboys looked exceptionally well yesterday. Offensively, that was our big qualm all last season, being able to do things offensively, being able to get ahead, get a lead, and continue to keep your foot on the neck of the opposition. And you see that this team was able to do that all game yesterday. Now, a lot of people they're gonna say, listen here, it was just the Giants. Y'all over there trying to crown them Super Bowl champs. It's just the Giants, just the Giants. Listen here, at the end of the day, I've always said that it's about the NFC East. I don't care if you're in the toilet. When it comes to divisional games, primarily in the NFC East, it's always a dogfight. You never know if you're going to get a good team or a bad team. I've seen trash Redskin teams come into town while we're on a run and whoop our tail. So this was a game where, at the end of the day, I felt like we could win this game, and we could win by a lot. But I felt like if the Cowboys didn't keep their foots on the neck of the opposition, this game could have came very close. First and foremost, Saquon, the dude is a beast. I mean, the dude had two, big runs or whatnot that kind of showed our defense at the beginning. Now, a lot of people I know, they're a little worried, like, oh my gosh, our defense. Sorry, you guys. I know a lot of people are worried, like, oh my gosh, our defense, it look trash and stuff. Listen here, our defense is just a little rusty. You're talking about Tank Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford. It's a lot of players on that defense that hadn't played a snap all preseason. So of course you're going to jail and get back together. But I felt like, yeah, they got showed up with that first Saquon run or whatnot, and that early touchdown in the first quarter, and then they kind of figured out what was going on and kind of brought it together. Some of the points I want to point out is that we still got to make sure we effectively stopping the run defensively. Yes, that was Saquon, but it was so many times that, it was wide open holes for Saquon to just run through. And when you have a beast like Saquon, it's primarily more difficult. It's primarily more difficult to stop him, just because he is a beast. But nevertheless, I know what everybody came here to talk about: our quarterback, our offense. First and foremost, I was very excited when Kellen Moore took over. A lot of people were skeptical, like Kellen Moore was his quarterback coach and he couldn't do anything. What makes you think he's going to be a better offensive coordinator? And like I used to tell a lot of people at that time, Kellen Moore, yes, was the quarterback coach, but he was nothing more than a puppet to Scott Linehan. There was a lot of insiders and Cowboy insiders that were stating that, yes, Kellen Moore was the quarterback's coach, but Scott Linehan made comments like, hey, I'm going to just take him under my wing, and I'm actually be his quarterback's coach. So he was more of a de facto quarterback's coach. But needless to say, I was very excited to see what Kellen Moore's playbook was going to look like. I didn't want to show all of the cards just yet. I said, this is just the New York Giants. Let's just do enough to win the game and play smart football. First and foremost, I love how we didn't just run straight to the run. We already knew they were stacking 9 men in the box to stop Zeke. So you're leaving oppositions one-on-one. And when you have a receiver core like Coop, Gallup, and Cobb out there, with the addition of a Jason Witten and a Blake Jarwin in the tight end positions, it's very hard to stop all of those weapons, primarily in the red zone. We saw Witten come back with a nice red zone touchdown. and he still looks like he looked in 2017, 2016. So he's going to be very effective, I believe, in the red zone for us. We saw what Blake Jarwin could do out in space and the speed that he got. And most of all, we saw what Dak Prescott could do. I knew that Dak Prescott was going to have a good season opener. I just had a feeling. I kept telling people before the game, I said, watch out for Dak. I think Dak, watching Dak all in practice, I live in the Dallas area, so of course I went to a lot of the training camp games or training camp practices that they had here at the Star. And just seeing Dak, seeing his poise, and seeing him being poised, seeing him being relaxed and comfortable in the pocket and comfortable in commanding this offense, I just feel like Dak is going to have a special year, and he's already starting off with a special season opener. This guy was throwing accurate passes. I mean, he had a perfect passer rating, 405 yards, 4 touchdowns. What more do you want from Dak Prescott? You know, a lot of people always talk about, well, Dak can't throw the deep ball. Dak was dropping dimes in the breadbasket all day long, and I'm just so proud of him. And it's gonna be nice to see what he can do, later on. I like how Dak is not worried about the contract situation, and a lot of people saying we need to lock him up. I think that Dak Prescott and his agents are betting on Dak to have a good year. I think Dak feels it. I think Dak feels like this is going to be the year that he's going to take that next step, potentially compete for a Super Bowl. And I think that he's betting on himself, and I have to just applaud him for that. Zeke Elliott really didn't have to do much. He still looked pretty good. A lot of people say, oh, well, Zeke Elliott look kind of, sluggish and slow. We already know Zeke starts off slow, not to mention Zeke had no training camp activity. So 54 yards and a touchdown, I believe, is not too bad. Not too bad for Zeke coming out the gate. And I think by week 3, by the time we play the Saints, I believe Zeke is going to be back in football shape and just knock that rust off. So I'm not worried about Zeke. Randall Cobb, listen here. What can I say about Randall Cobb? Randall Cobb was just amazing. He was an amazing pickup. I remember when they was reporting that he had came to town, and I was telling people around me, I was like, if I'm Stephen Jones, you do not let that dude walk out of your building without having the deal signed. Needless to say, that's one of my favorite pickups this offseason. I just think he complements Dak very well. I mean, this dude is a dual threat. I mean, he can catch balls out the backfield. He can run out the backfield. He can, he's a great receiver. He has speed. He can get separation, nuanced route runner. All of the intangibles that you want from your receiver. And so when you look at this, having especially those big 3 weapons in Cooper and Gallup, and I'm going to get to Gallup in a minute, and Cooper and Gallup and Cobb, who are you going to stop? I loved, one of my standout plays was in the red zone, when they did the the run pass option or whatnot. They didn't know who to stop. And you look at it like this: you put all of these weapons on the field. If you put Randall Cobb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, and Jason Witten all on the field together, who are you going to stop? Somebody's going to get open. And if you are going to shut down all of the players, your quarterback still can run, and can run with conviction. So I think that is amazing. Michael Gallup balled out. I think Michael Gallup is sneakily going to have a good year. I think this is going to be a Pro Bowl year for him. I think he's going to take that next step as a receiver, and I think he's going to be that one that people have to watch out for when they're giving a whole lot of attention to Amari Cooper and the Randall Cobbs of the world. I believe Michael Gallup is going to be right there front and center. That dude made a lot of great catches, runs after the catch, and that's another thing about all of our receivers now. These guys are amazing at run after the catch. A lot of people, say don't crap on Cole Beasley, and I love Cole Beasley and what he did for this offense while he was here. But Cole Beasley was a guy that would catch the ball and fall down. That 3rd and 8 play where Randall Cobb catches the ball, and I think he had 5 yards to the first down marker or whatnot, and he basically just stiff arms and bullies the dude out the way to gain the first down. That's something that we wouldn't have saw from a Cole Beasley. So I thought that was really amazing. And I love how Kellen Moore is using play action. I think we use play action 47% of the time in the game. I think last year, you know, the Rams averaged about 36 play action. I love, you know, pre-snap motions, and I love how our plays were scheming guys open. I think that's another thing that people fail to realize. We were scheming guys open. So you have talent along with offensive scheme. The sky is the limit. I'm excited. Now, a lot of people say, well, calm down. This is just week one. And yeah, you're right. This is just week one. But I do believe that this team got potential. And if Dak Prescott can continue to play like this all season long, I don't see why we shouldn't be in the conversation for a Super Bowl. But again, this is just week one. We're heading on to week two. So put y'all comments below. Tell me what y'all thought about the game. Who was y'all standout players? And I'll see y'all soon.